Welcome to Surf Fishing 101. Today we're going to be discussing metal lip lures. In particular, we're going to be discussing the Danny type lures. We're going to be discussing other ones on other times, but today we're going to concentrate on a Danny lure. This is probably the most popular lure when it comes to metal lip. A lot of makers make this lure in a broad range of sizes, shapes, and colors, but they basically all look the same with a little bulge in the back. And what it does is this bulge and the weight should make a good Danny wobble on the surface as it's retrieved. There's a metal lip in the front with a wire, which Dave Anderson in a little while will explain to you how to modify it and how to work it. It's popular because it's very good in broad range of conditions. You can work it surface and subsurface. You can work it in a little bit rougher water than a metal lips with a cup lip, which don't really hold well in rough water. They imitate large baits, but you can also get the smaller ones to imitate smaller baits. They cast fairly well for a metal lip. It is what it is. They're just a great lure. This lure has been one of the biggest producers when it comes to metal lips over the years. So let's hear what Surfcasters Journal Managing Editor Dave Anderson has to say about this lure, which is one of his favorites.
Metal lip plugs offer a look that really no other plug can give you. Even though you can like wake a redfin or something like that, the action is just not the same. You're not getting that same profile, that same big target that you get with a Danny plug like this. And the nice thing about these plugs is that they are user serviceable. You can bend the loop in different directions to make the plug do different things. Some people like to adjust the lip. I'm not really in that camp too much, unless something is really wrong with the swimming action and I try to tweak it out. Usually I like to leave it be. So right out of the bag, a Danny, in my mind, is supposed to swim right on the surface. On a slow, steady retrieve, this plug should be leaving a wake on the surface and just wiggling very slowly in the waves. These plugs are great if you're fishing around schools of blitzing fish, near herring runs, or anywhere where big bait is scattered. And the hits are like no other plug, and they're also more frustrating than any other plug because you lose a lot of fish. Now, if I find myself caught on the beach with just a Danny for metal lips and a friend of mine is crushing fish on a junior, then I'm going to be apt to want to make this thing swim under the surface. So what I'm going to do there is I'm just going to bend the loop up, not very far. I'm going to bend it up like 30 degrees. And what that's going to do is it's going to elicit the plug to dive. So now when I get the plug out there, you'll see that the plug wants to just go under the surface. And you're getting the same action, more or less, but now the plug is down, probably a foot and a half. And it really is kind of remarkable how much of a difference just that little adjustment can make. And this can be the key if the fish are keyed in on baits that aren't V-waking on the surface, or if the fish are just down a little deeper than they will be if they'll to come up and take a plug off the surface. Now, if you find yourself in the situation where a Danny plug is diving with the loop in the original position, in the straight position, you can also bend the loop down to bring it up to the surface. This plug swims properly, so if I do that, I'm just going to cause it to spiral out of control and it's not going to fish properly. Now, the way I rig a Danny plug, a traditional Danny, the hook hangers are close enough together where that if you use split rings, the hooks will marry. So I use 3/0 VMC hooks and I cut them so that they can't intertwine, and then I just put a hookless flag on the tail, and that's it.